Hey everyone, welcome back to the workshop. Artisan Pirate here, and in today's fun video I want to tell you all about my amazing trip to Asheville, North Carolina. Now I was blessed to be invited to go up and take part of the 8th anniversary of the Asheville store of Klinspor Woodworking Shop. It was an amazing trip. It was a whole weekend trip. We left early Friday morning, got up there and met most of the people, went out to eat that evening, and then Saturday, April 22nd, which was the anniversary, was the day of the event. I done live scroll saw demos with some other woodworkers from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and it was just a great day. And then we packed up and we came home early Sunday morning, but really cool. They give me this amazing poster that documented everything. Again, I was surrounded by some amazing people, and I want to try to get this hung up somewhere and proudly display it out in the workshop. Jerry was there turning cowboy hats, which is a really cool process. I was able to duck in and watch him a little bit in between breaks. Learned to make birdhouses. Chris Stinson was turning boxes and finials, which is a really delicate process and was amazing to watch. Chris Smith was there talking about CNC machines and why you may need one in your workshop. The NC woodworkers was there. Hank was there showing you how to sharpen plane blades and chisels and everything. Gene was there turning pins and small bowls. Again, a real tedious process and amazing to watch. Richard was there doing a French polishing demonstration, which is really cool. He mixes his own polish, and it was an amazing thing to watch, and how the multiple coats really brought out the grain and texture of the wood. And then, of course, I was there doing scroll saw woodworking from start to finish. Really cool. Now, about a week before the actual trip happened, I prepped a few projects, and I took some examples off the scroll saw display wall. We're going to get everything put back on the wall here in a little bit, but I took examples of compound cutting, flat cutting, and stack cutting, and I had some stuff prepped. And one of the things I cut out, actually the first thing I cut out, was the Klingspor name, and this uses the Steve Good pattern printer. And keep in mind, I did not have none of my sanders, sanding sticks, or anything like that with me to actually properly finish everything. So everything here is just right off the scroll saw, and I set it aside and pass it around, let people see it and everything. And as you see, there is the name Klingspor, which is the name of the store. I took an example of compound cutting, the compound cut keychains, and I started this, and when people would ask, I would go and do an interior cut. I'm sure I will finish this off camera. And then I'd done some stack cutting, and I had a lot of stuff prepped because I didn't know how quickly I would be. I was on a DeWalt 788 scroll saw, which you know I am on the Delta 20-inch scroll saw back here in the workshop here in Burlington. But I'd done some stack cut footballs out of the 1/4-inch material I used just to show people how you can quickly batch out stuff. And I had one of those stick figures. I took the backpacking stick figures, which was a previous video, up there, and I had another one prepped, the dog and his man there out of Poplar and Walmart. Didn't get around to cutting that out, but I had the finished one with me so people could see how it starts and how it ends and everything. And then, because we are still in the South in North Carolina, I cut out a pineapple. The pineapple is a sign of Southern culture and Southern hospitality, and you guys know I had the finished one with me that I cut out of red oak, and so people were able to see it as soon as it come off the saw and then see examples of finished work. I had also prepped another stack cut piece. This was just going to be a football helmet, and I will probably again cut this off camera, cut it out off camera, if that makes any sense. And then the final piece I started and didn't get around to was a pattern by one of the books Fox Chapel Publishing sent me, and it was this bald eagle. And I was just taking my time here and scrolling one-handed. People were so amazed by that, how easy it was, because everybody was saying, well, we got to hold it and force it. One person even came up to me and said, well, we push so hard into the blade it lifts the scroll saw. And I'm like, please don't do that. You're wearing and tearing on your material and your machine. Take your time and let the blade do the work. Talk to a lot of amazing people, and if you guys would like to see me finish this bald eagle on camera and finish it properly, please let me know, and that'll be a future Monday video where we talk a little bit more in depth about everything. This is just a piece of 3/4-inch cabinet grade oak laminated plywood. It was just what I had on hand quickly to put the pattern on and take with me. Again, I took examples of compound cutting, straight blade cutting, and spiral blade cutting. The Santa Claus portrait, which is the only video I've done on spiral blades because I'm not as adept with them, but I took this compound cut rose, and then the Enjoy Today piece, which you guys know was a previous video. And I took a few of the keychains. Like I said, I showed people how they start with the blank there, one that says Klinspor on it, but really cool. And throughout the day it was a catered meal. Jimmy John's catered it. Again, the previous night we went to Sierra Nevada Brewing and had an amazing meal. The vastness of that place blew my mind because you go up this long winding path, and then it just opens up. They have a stage for bands. They got a fire pit. They've just got, it's a very rustic look, very copper look, industrial look, steampunk kind of, in my opinion. And then the day of, while we were scrolling, Coleman come around and give us all a goodie bag, and I'm going to open this on camera. And it was just an amazing trip, and I hope you can bear with me. I was not able to take the camera, even though I had it, and go around filming, because I needed to be at the scroll saw doing what I was brought up there to do, and that was teach and educate people about scroll saw woodworking. But some friends were up there. They got pictures of me, and I've compiled them in a slideshow, and I might have a little clip that someone else filmed for me if it's got back to me in time for me to edit this video and get it out to you on a Wednesday. Now, sorry about that. Now, if I know some people were genuinely interested in scroll saw woodworking and really sit there and talk to me, I printed out about 15 of these before we went up the mountain, and these are scroll saw blade squares. They are a free file on Thingiverse you can download, and I just ran these off and batched these out the day before we went up to Klinspor, and these are made out of copper PLA, but it just ensures that your scroll saw blade and table is lined up at a perfect 90. Again, if I felt someone was genuinely interested and was really going to pick up scroll sawing, I would just give these to somebody. And again, I brought maybe 4 or 5 home, so you know, that just tells that. Sterling Davis came down and met me, and you know, we talked a good bit, and thank you for the gift, Sterling, and he was just interacting and filming, I'm sure, for his channel as well. So really cool. So what I'm going to do now is turn the camera off, and we're going to go into the slideshow that I have compiled, and I'll have a little narrative talking about what I can talk about on it, and then we will come back and put the stuff on the scroll saw display wall, put it back on its home, and open the goodie bag that was given to me. So let's start the slideshow. And after a 3-hour drive, which was very scenic, we arrived at Klingspor of Asheville, and then we checked in at the Comfort Inn. And after that, we had a couple hours until we met up again, and my buddy that rode with me suggested we go to his old school, which is Christ School, and tour the grounds, and it is well worth the visit. The architecture and the history in the chapel is beautiful. I truly appreciated this woodwork and the tour. You guys know that I love history, and I hope you guys like that I have included the photos in this video. And Asheville is also home to the historic Biltmore estate, built by the Vanderbilts, the largest home privately owned in the USA. And we drove by the gate. We didn't have time to go in and tour that. That requires basically a whole day. But then we came back to the hotel and met up with everyone, and then we all carpooled, and Klinspor took us to Sierra Nevada Brewery. This place is massive. It's up a long and winding drive, and you would not expect something this big to be that far back, but it was. And being a brewery, they had several drinks on tap. I didn't get anything here. I was just too awestruck by the architecture here and how everything looked. And we had about an hour wait before we could get food. They do serve food, and their menu is very eclectic. I looked at it and I was like, wow. Of course, we went out on what's called the back area, which is very expansive. It has a stage for singing and everything, and I would highly recommend this place just for the beauty of it and the food. The food was delicious. I got a double cheeseburger with fries, and my buddy, who's trying to eat a little bit more healthy, as am I, he ordered a more healthy food option, but it smelled and looked delicious, and he said it was. And after we got back the next morning, I was in another hotel where I have to duck to get a shower because of my height. But we all arrived at Klinspor before the demo time, which was 8. And the demo started at 9, so we had about an hour to kill. And then once you get a bunch of woodworkers up there who's passionate about everything they do, we all just enjoyed each other's company and had a good time. There's my buddy who traveled with me. We were trying on one of Jerry's hats, and they are very beautiful. This one was out of poplar wood. Then it was time to get everything set up, and you see people was waiting at the door, and I got my stuff set up. And I did have another friend come up from Raleigh, and there's me and Jerry,
and he took some of the photos here that you are seeing. They will probably be a little bit more high quality than my camera phone photos when they start showing up. The NC woodworkers were there, and here I am at the scroll saw. Again, I was using a DeWalt, and it's basically the same as my Delta, but I do prefer the Delta over the DeWalt, as you guys know. And I just took my time explaining to everyone. Several questions were asked, and I tried to do my best to inform everyone of what an amazing hobby scroll sawing can be. I had examples of compound cutting, stack cutting with me, and everyone was really interested in the compound cutting. Of course, being at Klinspor, I had to cut out their name, and I had to also represent the NC woodworkers. But I had an amazing time. The event ran from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and it was a steady flow of people. There's Jerry turning one of his wood hats, which is an amazing process to watch. There's Chris talking about how amazing a CNC machine is. And as you can see, the store was packed throughout the day. There was giveaways throughout the day. And now I'm back home after an enjoyable trip, putting the stuff I took back on the display wall and in its proper place. But now we're going to unbox the goodie bag that Klinspor give me.
I hope you guys like that slideshow I put together. Now we're going to open the goodie bag that Coleman give all the vendors and everything. So really, really cool. Everybody opened theirs there at the event and kind of glanced in it. I wanted to open it on camera just to show my appreciation. So without further ado, let's just get on into it. Alright, right off the bat is some sandpaper samples with the Klingspor logo and all on it. Different grits, smooth grits, high grits. Really cool. Ooh, what are these? Sandflex is a solid block of grit. Fine, medium, and coarse. It cleans, it polishes, uses wet or dry. So there you see there is blocks, and they are indeed flexible, and I can tell through the plastic the coarseness of everything. So really, really cool. Thank you for that. More sandpapers and hook and loop sanding pads here, again of assorted grits. Really, really amazing here. Thank you guys. You guys go above and beyond. Woodworkers wanted, look inside, free gift offer, Klingspor Woodworking Shop, and it's got all 4 of their locations. Of course, this event took place in Asheville. The main store is in Hickory, and the closest one to me is Cary, North Carolina, and then the next closest one would be the Winston-Salem store for me. You guys can look at that if you want to pause the video and see which one is closest to you. Even more goodies. Advertisements for the amazing saw stop. That is a high quality table saw, and they now have it in job sites with that amazing finger detection technology to where it'll pop the blade under if your finger gets too close to the blade. And really, really cool. They were up there doing the demos with everything. A bunch of sanding blocks. Wow, these are great for turning and doing contoured sanding if you're ever doing stuff like that. There is the name of it, assorted foam sanding sampler 10-pack. Really, really amazing. When I get stuff like this, I'm just like a kid at Christmas. Advertising the Woodworking Extravaganza in Hickory, North Carolina. That will be at the Hickory Metro Convention Center. All of these tool companies will be on hand. There will be people that do YouTube like me up there talking to everybody and interacting. Maybe or may not, I will try to be up there both days this year. I'll just see what October brings, because you know then I do a lot of the pirate gigs for the community and parties and all, so we'll see when that time comes. 9 times out of 10 I'm always up there on the Friday. A Woodworking Extravaganza sticker. Really, really cool. Great quality stickers too. Klingspor sanding sheets. These are those quarter sanding for the palm sander. Quarter pieces of sandpaper. 180 grit. We have their newest catalog, and as you can see, they're not just woodworking tools. They sell lumber. They sell the dust mask, industrial tools, Craig jigs and everything. Craig was also up there doing amazing demos with their pocket hole tools and everything. Another Klingspor woodworking shop pen. These are laid all around the workshop where I can just quickly jot down stuff. And I believe the rest of this is sandpaper. Really, really amazing. Again, assorted grits of everything, really. There's 180, there's 400, there's 150, and 100 again. Really, really amazing. That is a great goodie bag. Make sure I didn't forget anything. That is cool. Really, really amazing for them to go above and beyond this. But I hope you guys have liked watching me undo this. These were also given out to people throughout the day, so I hope everybody has some great use for their goodie bags. I'm going to move the camera one more time and we will wrap up the video. And that is going to wrap up this video. I hope you all have enjoyed seeing how the trip went for me through my eyes. I want to extend a huge thank you to Coleman and Klingspor Woodworking Shop of Asheville. I want to thank the amazing staff of the Comfort Inn where everyone stayed. Thank you guys for the hospitality and treating me with so much kindness. I was blown away by everything. Again, this was my first time doing live scroll saw demos like that, and I've already been invited back for next year and maybe future opportunities at the other Klingspor woodworking stores. Keep in mind, if any of you would ever want to learn how to scroll saw, I am more than happy to teach you, either trying over the phone through a video call or maybe a visit to a shop or anything. If you're in the area, I'm happy to teach everyone and educate them. A scroll saw is such a versatile tool. Some people are CNC people. There's a lot of turning and wood lathe people out there. I know people exclusively use the router and bandsaw tools, you know, so it's a variety of tools that you can pick up in woodworking, but the one that I have always honed in on and focused on has been the scroll saw, and I hope I showed people this time around how amazing and versatile it is with the projects I took and the demos that I've also done, and showing them how cool of a tool it can be. It doesn't take up a lot of space, but really, really cool. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Again, through my viewpoint, I'm sure that the other people that were demoing, and of course Klingspor Woodworking Shop, took pictures and videos and everything, and I'm sure they're posted to all their social medias. Again, this video was through my eyes. I also want to thank my family friend who went up to the mountain in Asheville with me, who went along on the road trip just so I wouldn't be making the journey alone. I really enjoyed his company, and we had a ball there at the hotel talking with the other woodworkers and everything, and at the meal where they took us. Really, really cool. That's about all for this one, and remember guys, if you're new here, please subscribe to the channel and also follow me over on Instagram at Artisan Pirate. Links to all my social medias as well as ways to contact me will always be linked down in the description box below these videos. That's about all for this one, and remember guys, if I can make it or do it, so can you. I'm the Artisan Pirate. Take care, and I'll see you guys real soon.